Alright. Cool. Alrighty. There we go. Starting the stream. Here we go. Alright. Interesting. Right. Well. So, welcome back, I guess, to the first stream. I'm going to be working on updating the upgrade system for buildings in Lich Lord. So this is the Lich Lord game. It's effectively my take on an incremental clicker game. So what? Give you a quick rundown here. So effectively, obviously I've started development. This is different building types, and effectively the premise is you are a lich building out your kingdom or your necropolis, and the whole point is to expand your army to then defeat other what I'm currently calling settlements, to then eventually defeat the king or major settlement, which will be the end of the game now. Haven't exactly worked out exactly what that's going to look like in terms of how much power you'll need or conditions or resources that you're going to need to actually do that, but in a nutshell, we can take a quick look. Right, so I might need that open going forward, but we'll see here. So effectively this is it, right? So you start off up there a little bit. So you start off with this. You can build out some new some buildings, summon skeletons. From there you can create resource stacks, summon skeletons, destroy skeletons to gather resources. When skeletons give you bone resources, you can summon multiple skeletons up to your current capacity. Now I don't have an indicator for current capacity at the moment, but at the moment it is 10. So you can see up here in your inventory, UI is all currently temporary, but you can see up in your inventory at the moment, you've got 8. That's probably a little bit hard to see there at the moment, but you've got 8, so you can go 9 and 10, and then you can get rid of them to get bone resources, which you can then use to build more buildings. And then you can so you can see that above each one is a level. Current level is 1. Again, hard to see at the moment, but it's all very placeholder. Here you got different building types. This building, when clicked enough, summons a mage skeleton, and it takes, again, hard to see, but effectively takes one skeleton and converts it into a mage skeleton. Right, so you can see as I click this, you'll see that I don't have an icon there, but you see I've got one mage, and here, there you go, he just leveled up to level 2, and you'll see that it'll take one skeleton and up my mage by 1. There you go. So now I've got 4 skeletons and 2 mages, right? And this is it, and you keep going, incrementing up. So I've just got a few basic builds at the moment. Now you see if you kill this guy, you get a soul out of a mage skeleton. So different skeleton types will give you different resources, and there is I've implemented the very basic of the raiding system at the moment. And so from the raiding system, you'll be able to get different types of resources that you may not necessarily be able to get from summoning skeletons and something, and what you can actually get here. So you might be able to get wood or other things that you may need, right, to further improve your army. And so this little training thing here means that every so often this guy levels up, and when this guy levels up, he gets stat increases, and that further benefits so that I can then, I can use I can use this guy, I can deactivate him from this, and then I can use him on a different building to activate a building faster. So these little squares on the ground at the moment for each building, they are workstations. So you can assign a skeleton to go to a workstation, and then that will work on that particular building by clicking that building every X amount of seconds. So you can see at the moment, let's go to a skeleton minion. See in the top right here, here's a clicks per second stat. So at the moment, current value, this guy can click at 0. He does can click at 0.22 seconds. Right, a click. Right. So it basically means every 5 seconds you'll click once. Right. Which is good. So there's different values here, and then this is the increase per level. So you say every level that it goes up, currently his click per value will increase by 0.01. So you can see that this guy is current level 3, so it's at 0.22 because it starts at 0.2, which is great, right? So yeah, in a nutshell, that is the initial premise of the game. Now, so for today's stream, the thing that we need to work on is that each building, so let's get out the graveyard building, right? Each building has a list of upgrades, right? And this upgrade set is effectively a scriptable object that holds all the possible upgrades that this building can have, right? The problem with the current way that the system is working is that the current problem with the way the system is working is that the scriptable objects of the upgrades are not unique for each individual building, right? So what I need to do, what we effectively need to change the system to do is basically the upgrade manager needs to hold a list of unique upgrades for that thing based upon the upgrade set that it's given, right? So if we go into the upgrade manager script, you can see that it's pretty basic at the moment. Yeah. Right. It's pretty basic. So there we go. All that's up in there. Yep. So here, we're doing the fade in, fade out of the button itself. Yep. This does the fade in. So see that little red diamond on top? That's effectively what that's activating. The different buttons. That's probably not the best way to do that at the moment, but I'm going to leave it and we'll refactor that another time. What we're interested in refactoring right now is this section here. So this for each upgrade to upgrade set item, upgrade initialize. We do want to do upgrade.initialize, but we don't want to upgrade on the upgrade set, right? We want to create a new list of upgrades based that is made from the upgrade set, and then we want to initialize those upgrades, right? So that's effectively what we want to do. So to do that, I'm going to have to create that, and it's set up my other screen. All right. So what we need to do, right? So in order to get this to work, we basically need to look at our upgrades. So let's go here. Upgrade. What's the first one we'll do? Add graveyard, add workstation. Right. Here we go. So this is our upgrade, right? So this is a add workstation upgrade. So now what we want to do, right, is we want to say, okay, what here is actually relevant to the scriptable object, and what here needs to be relevant to each individual upgrade, right? Now, yeah. So the cost of the upgrade actually does need to be individualized to each individual upgrade, and the upgrade level it's actually going to be on the upgrade itself, right? So for now, what we're going to do is under the upgrade manager, say public upgrade. Available in version 12. Okay. Let's move that. Yeah, okay. Now, I'm going to do this. Let's go to our upgrade scripts. Create new script. We'll call this upgrade. Good. Right, so the upgrade is not going to be one of behavior. It's just going to be a container, right? And so this upgrade, effectively, we needed to do what the upgrade scriptable objects does, and then, right, so we're going to activate and initialize, reset. That's for the scriptable objects as well. Description, complete, activation, right? So activate, initialize, and complete, they kind of need to happen. They will need to be right. So what we're going to do is we want to basically pass those into the upgrade, so the upgrade knows what it needs to do. So public initialize. Yeah. The upgrade. Public string, upgrade name. Yeah. Do we need a name and a description? No. What we need is that each upgrade is going to have a reference to its own scriptable object. So let's start with that. So let's say public upgrade SO. Upgrade sky, and we say upgrade SO. Right? A reference to the scriptable object that the data came from. Right? That's going to be important. Right, because then from there we can gather the activate initializer, so we don't need to actually pass those in, right? What we do need there is a public int upgrade level, grade level. We need a recipe scriptable object is a list of recipe items, right? So public list of recipe item, recipe, let's call this cost recipe, and then oops, what else do we need? Cost recipe, then it's gone very dark. Yeah, okay, it's probably a little bit better. I'm gonna need to get some sort of I might actually have another light I can use. Oh well, that's alright for now. Public this recipe item, so that's the cost recipe. There we have. Let's just double check this. Workstation. No, I don't think that needs to be unique, so I can get that from the scriptable object. Upgrade cost. It's actually going to be a new list, right? Upgrade level, cost, available at. I think that's fine, and the description and name is fine. Yeah, okay. So now we want to construct it. So we say public upgrade. Yeah. I'm gonna say upgrade so grade so int upgrade level this recipe item. I think what I'm gonna say just say recipe so recipe scriptable object. Right here. Now we're gonna say upgrade SOV equals underscore grade same upgrade level equals int. What am I doing? That was silly. All that information is already there. That's all I need to pass on. Just the upgrade scriptable object. So upgrade scriptable object dot upgrade level. Then and we say cost recipe equals new list. This upgrade so dot upgrade cost dot recipe items. Oops. Right. So create a new list of recipe items of that. Right. That's the cost recipe. Now Now the upgrade script currently, yeah, just set extra quantity for cost recipe, which is not really what we want to do, right? We want to do that on the upgrade. It's basically based on any list here, right? So if we just quickly check this out on the recipe script, we'll calculate extra item quantity. Yeah. Set extra quantity for cost recipe. And reset the base cost. It's a recipe item. Right. Which effectively means, right, so here, percent cost increase. So instead of doing the percent cost increase on the whole recipe, maybe we should do the percent cost increase on the individual item itself. Yeah. So you set extra quantity for cost recipe. Okay, extra quantity. Yeah. So let's say that there. Right. Should move that here. The actual recipe item. And then we want on the recipe item we want a public vote percent. Right. Percent cost increase. Percent cost increase. I'm just going to make that equal 0.1 to begin with. And we're going to get the percent increase off there. It's probably going to break a few things, but that's alright. Say percent cost increase and set extra quantity for cost recipe. So instead of doing that, we're just going to say extra quantity equals base quantity level. Great. And then because we're doing that, then providing all that, right, which is good. And so consume items from recipe. Okay, so upgrade. Yeah. Activate. Upgrade level. Start. Yeah. Which isn't really going to work that way at the moment, is it? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? We want this to... Okay, it's going to break a whole bunch of stuff. So when we add in the upgrade, because we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to complete the activation here, upgrade the level. Right. We say activate. Do we want to do that based on the scriptable object? I think so, but we say complete activation. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not virtual complete activation. Which is more here, right? Because we're going to upgrade the level there, and we want to increase that, and we want to consume. Yeah, so I think this really does need to come here, right? So you want to say if cost recipe doesn't equal null, game manager is able to consume. This is expecting a recipe scriptable object. Let's get the inventory. So we want to do that, but recipe, but it's just a list of recipe item recipe, and so for each item in recipe, do the exact same thing, right? Yep. And so we say cost recipe. Great. So then we upgrade the level, and then we say for each recipe item in cost recipe, because as we say recipe item dot set extra cost for recipe grade level. There we go. Complete activation, right? So then let's then go to the add workstation upgrade. Yep. Yeah. Add workstation upgrade. Get building add workstation. So on the actual upgrade itself, complete activation. We basically want to say activate and then complete activation. Which is alright. So now with the upgrade manager, so you're going to set, so now let's say a public list upgrade. Let's call it local upgrades. Local upgrades, right? So on awake, so we'll say for each, right? So for each upgrade and upgrade set items, we want to say local upgrades. Just going to, I could do it all on one line, but for now, I'm just going to do a different one. Right, so we'll say upgrade new upgrade equals new upgrade upgrade. Right. So then here we're going to say local upgrades dot add new upgrade. Right. I could just say new upgrade. I need to do that. Useful for debugging purposes, I guess, but not strictly necessary. And then we say upgrade dot initialize transform. Which what we actually want to do is we want to say new upgrade dot upgrade scrolls dot initialize transform. Right. So new upgrade, and then use the new upgrade to initialize itself. Okay. Nice. Yes, now this is going to break a few things because we're fundamentally changing what we're doing. Here, so let's just update these to ensure that complete activation. You take out the complete activation from the activate. Complete activation, and what we need to do, because instead of just putting in activate now, we need to get the activate. We need to activate it, and then afterwards we need to say this thing dot complete. So I'm just going to make sure that that is running smoothly. Credible building, right? Set extra country for cost recipe. Number built. Right. Okay, so that's broke something there. Which basically just means critical building recipe dot, yeah, so I just need to do this a bit differently. So I need to say increase costs, so you say for each recipe item in building recipe recipe dot recipe items, say recipe item dot set extra number built. There we go. So I guess technically I could make this a function inside of recipe item to do this, so I don't have to write this out every single time, which maybe I'll just do. Okay, so let's go back to recipe object, reset the base cost, do that, and then just say public void update recipe item cost. Each So we're just going to say recipe item, and here we're going to say int level. Make sure we follow conventions, underscore level. Cool. All right. Here we go. So upgrade recipe item cost. So let's go back to the credible building, and now we can just change that. We can just say building recipe dot whoops. I did not name that appropriately. Upgrade recipe. Let's see. Increase recipe item cost. That's better. Increase recipe item cost. Level is done. Increase cost. Boom. There we go. Excellent. Right. Good. We're getting somewhere. Now let's see. Have I broken anything else? No. That's nice. Good. You can see 0.1, 10, 28. Now reset. Reset the base cost is still there, which is fine. Right. So that's going to get rid of all the extra quantity out of every recipe. That is good. We still want to keep that. But now here we go. So now we go upgrade, and excellent. So in the upgrade manager, right? In the upgrade manager, what do we have here? Objects fading out. Yep. So here, upgrade logo, upgrade, initialize, transform. Okay. So now. Now we need to work on the actual buttons, right? So I'm going to need to go back to those. So see how this works. So let's go panel, upgrade panel. Yeah. Go panel. Set upgrade buttons. So given upgrade set, transform, activator. Good. So we actually don't want to be giving it an upgrade set at the moment. We want to be giving it a list of upgrades. So list of upgrade. Right, list of upgrade. I'm going to call this same thing. Oh, whoops. I've got this local, local upgrades, and then here, okay. What's going on here? Why is this running? Okay. For each upgrade, in the create a button. Again, so that's a upgrade. Good. Okay. Upgrade activator. Fantastic. Level upgrades. Okay, UI button. So UI button dot update button. Upgrade button UI. Let's go to this. Upgrade. upgrade dot upgrade script dot objects dot upgrade name. Cost panel dot upgrade dot cost recipe. Upgrade cost. Yeah, got that. So we're using these, right? So this now is just a list of recipe item, cost recipe, item in cost recipe. Is that correct? Go backwards, so we can say cost recipe there and here. That works there. Okay, good. Now here. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to go here like this. Right. Upgrade.activate. So upgrade scriptable objects.activate, and then I'll say upgrade.complete activation. There. That's what I'm saying. Add this now. Upgrade button.update button. Upgrade. Inventory images response at this now. Inventory item. Check if affordable. Here we go. So this just takes an upgrade. Upgrade dot. I'm going to do the same thing, but just with a recipe item. Let's call it recipe. And then just say underscore recipe. Okay. And upgrade. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What else is what else is still broken? Okay. Upgrade button. Upgrade manager. Click to set upgrade buttons. Upgrade manager. Dot set upgrade buttons. Upgrade. Call this dot local upgrades. Okay, create building, the building recipe, update recipe cost UI. Recipe dot recipe items dot recipe items. Okay. Okay. Upgrade panel. This goes in there. Check if affordable, upgrade. Okay. So let's check this out. Our reference exception. All right, what do we got here? Local upgrades equals new list of upgrade. There you go. Try that again. Okay. Here we are. 1, okay, so that's building. Okay, so that's still working. Let's add the graveyard to great. Exit. Okay, here we are. So now these are the upgrades. Okay, upgrades have shown themselves. Fantastic. And now this is what we want to see, right? So now we've got 2. So these now should have locals. If I increase this one should stay the same. Right, so now what I need is 10 bones. Okay, that's fine. So we do that. Interesting. That didn't update. Okay. If I do that. Radio. Okay. So why is that not happening now? Let's go to the build panel. Okay, so that must be for some reason saying not affordable. Okay, so we will try to make a recipe stack. So under storage, recipe stack, here we are. Recipe. Inventory check recipe, creatable recipe. Right. Recipe scriptable object. So that's fine, right? Because that's still there. There's item, recipe, item. Yep, that should be fine, right? It's the exact same thing. That just does it with the recipe. And this does it with a list of recipe items. Not really a problem. Yeah. Space. Extra. Okay. Extra max stack recipe. Increase value available at. This is the creatable building recipe, right? Looking at the wrong thing. Oops. So we want a creatable building resource stack, right? So there we go. Recipe minion 1 extra 0.1. It's fine. Yeah, and then this is a name resource stack. Recipe stack, resource ID, grid allocation, number built. On build strategy, there is none for this building currently. So, what just happened? Okay. Correct. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. This one is no available stacks, but I can't build stacks for some reason. That's not. Build panel. It is not checking if it's affordable. Um, and it shows it anyway. That's I don't have to work out how to actually show a response there. That's fine. What have we got? What do we got here? What is going wrong? So check affordable. Check affordable. Let's debug this. So say debug.log is affordable. And we say debug.log not affordable. And we can work out what's going on. And not affordable, is affordable, not affordable, not affordable, not affordable. Okay, good. Okay, that worked. So we say graveyard. So I'm going to clear that first. Graveyard, and we're going to say boom. Okay. Not affordable, not affordable, not affordable, not affordable, is affordable. Not affordable, not affordable, not affordable, not affordable. Nothing's affordable, which is correct, right? Nothing should be affordable. So we clear that now here. Right? Okay. That's working. Right. Okay, well, not sure what just happened there. Um, yep. Good. Okay, so that's working now. That was odd, but okay. That's fine. So now we need to do the actual test, right? Which is here. So here, graveyard, this, here, restock item, here, another item here. Now we need to generate 5 skeletons so that we can crush them all. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Now the actual test. Okay, so now we see here. That's actually really hard to see. Switch that over a bit. No, but it actually says 10 there. I can show you on here, which is probably a bit easier. Here, right? So that says 10 on the workstation. So if I exit out of that and I go to this one, it also says 10. Now, these should be localized, right? So they're both level 1. Both level 1 is 10. So 1, I should now be able to change 1 to level 2. And the other should stay as level 10. So if I say add workstation, there we go. Level 2. Now, yep, that's changed to level 2. That now costs 12 bones. My bones have been used up. And now if I go to this one, we still have a problem. Okay. Add workstation 1 2. So that Okay, wait a minute. So that's still level 1. That has changed to 12 though. But that's changed to 2. And that. But that has changed to 12. So that has actually sort of worked. So why is that not unique? Upgrade manager. Initialize, that's fine. Actually, I'm going to go to the upgrade. Yeah. That should create a new list of recipe items with this cost recipe. Let's check the upgrade panel. List of upgrades. Where's that? Okay, component upgrade manager local upgrades. Yeah, that should be correct. Which it is because you're seeing 1, but that's also 12. So why did that change to 12? Right. But it is changing, right? Because that's 1. And that's 2. 2. So if I go to so let's double check this, right? So let's go to the actual upgrade. Oops, went too far. And add workstation recipe. Yeah. Because of that. Oh, okay. That should not happened. I change that to 4 and go here. Okay, so it's still linked to the scriptable object recipe, which it shouldn't be, which means this is not working, right? As I thought it should. And so here, when I say new recipe, I'm going to say each recipe item in upgrade so dot upgrade cost dot recipe items cost recipe dot recipe item. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, least that's all functionally still working. Two of those. We create 5 of these. 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. All my bones are there. Great. Then I can say add workstation 12. Add workstation 12. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm clearly not maybe because of this new recipe item. Recipe item. Resource. Percent increase, and we just say start resource equals resource. This dot base quantity equals base quantity. This dot equals extra quantity. Percent increase. This dot equals percent increase. Okay, right. Upgrades. New recipe item. Let's just call this item. Right. Recipe. New item. Recipe item. Item dot resource. Dot base quantity. Item dot extra quantity, and cost increase, right? And then we say new recipe item, right? So we completely create a new recipe item. This should not be linked. Okay, right? Good, excellent. Let's try this again. Graveyard here. 1 stack. 1 stack. 1, 2, 4, 5. 5, great, good. Here we go. 10. Add workstation. 12 here. 12, goddamn. Alright, I haven't changed anything. Why not? Clearly doing something wrong here. Is that still updating? Recipe item. That shouldn't change anything that I'm aware of. We shall see. Alright. Okay. There we go. That appears to have worked now. Let's just double check this. Now if I go 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5. There. If I switch to that one, 12. Excellent. That one, 10, 12. 10, 12. Good. Say summon exoskeleton. Good. Yeah, 10, 10. And more. More. Yeah. That's some extra colors. One's a bit about nasty upgrade because of the way the resources it takes, but there we go. That kind of works. So now, let's yep. So now that should work for every building because every building uses the same. So now, the real one I want to check out, right? So if I go graveyard here, make stacks, here, this one here, right? Increase max stacks, 10, right? Okay, 10 bones. Here, create another building. Oh, interesting. Yep. 3. That actually seems to be working a bit better now. 2. Here. 3. Right? Good. And so now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. So now if I go here, I say increase max stats, 12. I go here, 10, 10, 12. Perfect. Right? Exactly what I want. And so now I can have a single, right? So now each thing that has a workstation I can just have one workstation upgrade, and each thing will have its own workstation upgrade, and only if I want to change anything specific about that workstation upgrade. So if I want to have a workstation upgrade that starts at like level 2, I can do that. I can have a separate one that says like, workstation upgrade, start at level 2. I can do that sort of thing, which is fantastic, right? That's pretty good. Good, so that all works. Excellent. So I'm going to now commit these changes. I'm going to say change the upgrade system to use local upgrades from the scriptable objects. And what? Oh, right. So add in all those packs. Yeah, commit anyway. That's fine. Should be okay. Yeah, we'll see. That is really good. All right. Creating these changes while that's happening. Go back here. And so now each upgrade is individual to the building itself. Good. So I guess tomorrow we're going to be working on creating another upgrade, which is the Area of Influence upgrade. And if we get time, then to start working on the room building, to another building that uses the mage class to actually create runes, and is only usable by, I guess, the player and the mage class. And that building is going to be quite unique to other buildings because it's going to have a whole separate new mechanic around it, which will be basically as you generate runes, words will effectively scroll across, and if you type in the appropriate letter for the rune that's coming across, then you will be able to summon runes faster. And for every letter you get right, you will you will complete an extra click or percentage or something faster for the building. Yeah, so that's going to be quite a different thing. But once we get the Area of Influence upgrade done, create the room building, and then do the room building, that'll be that one. After the room building, we're going to work on the Summon Demon building, and then that is going to be the current end for building creation. And after we finish that, then we're going to be working on the settlement system and getting all the different types of settlements happening, and working out when they're going to spawn, how they're going to spawn, and what the player can do to potentially increase that rate or decrease that rate, and the different resources that that's going to give you. So, yep, alrighty. I'll catch you in the next one.